Hi guys, and welcome to Brave Dog Training Online's Women Power. Have you been wondering if you're ready for a rescue dog? Today we're going to talk about how you can tell if you're ready for a rescue dog. Enjoy! Alright, so first we should just make sure what we're talking about. A rescue dog can look very differently, right? We can have a puppy with no bad experiences at all, and it's just like a puppy from the breeder, except you're doing a good deed with adopting him, right? Or her. So, while this is not too much to worry about in terms of baggage the dog brings with him or her, puppy stage can be challenging with every puppy, because puppies are messy sometimes. Puppies need a lot of attention and a lot of patience because they chew on everything and they pee everywhere and you can't leave them alone. And again, this is not the same thing for every puppy. It depends a lot on the character, on the breed to some point, what he has experienced in his former life, all those things. But adopting a puppy is often not that concerning to a lot of people. What keeps popping up when we are talking about rescue puppies versus breeder puppies is the health thing. A lot of people are worried that rescue dogs are not as healthy as dogs from breeders, and that is not true. Neither is the other way around. So no, a mix is not more healthy than a purebred dog, and a purebred dog is not more healthy than a mix. You cannot say that in general, because there are a lot of genetic disorders out there, and you can have a mixed breed with two parents from different breeds and both carry genetic disorders, and you have both in a puppy. You can also have a purebred dog with all the genetic disorders there are in this breed, and you can have none of it in both. So it's not necessarily one way or the other. You can have the puppy checked out if you're not sure. You can have specialists look at the puppy. So this is the only way to be absolutely sure, to get the puppy checked out. And again, not everything is possible to diagnose at such a young age. So again, there are things that can happen with every dog, and it's not something I would base my decision on. Alright? But when we're talking about rescue dogs, a lot of people are talking about adults, because, let's be honest, our shelters are full to the top of their capacities with dogs that are just, ended up in the system for whatever reason. There can be many, not every one of them is neglected or abused or has some kind of sad story. Some of them are just regular dogs that have been separated from their families due to some kind of financial issue or whatever reason. There can be so many. So that also means not every rescue dog has a baggage. Yes, every new family and every separation from a family is a trauma, and depending on how many that dog has lived through, that will leave a mark, but it doesn't have to be a very extreme mark, or it doesn't have to damage the dog in any kind of way. So yes, we have extremely nice dogs in shelters or in foster care or wherever, so it doesn't have to be a public shelter, it can be something private. There are a lot of options, and if you're worried about taking a dog home with baggage, it doesn't have to be. So you can do something good with adopting a dog and not get one with baggage. It's possible. You have to look at the dog from as much of an objective perspective as you can. It's not that easy because we want to save them all, right? And it's not possible, and that's sad. But we have to be realistic a little bit because not every dog fits in every household. And if you're worried that you're not ready for a rescue dog, look at what your life is like. What is in your life, or who is in your life? Like if you're living with a husband and 2 cats in a city apartment, the dog should know cats and be friendly with them, should be fine with men and women, and should be fine with city life, right? And yes, a good rescue organization will go through all that with you and will take you by your hand and select a dog that fits your needs and fits your lifestyle. And if you are thinking about rescuing a dog who really has baggage, so like for me it was, I got a lot of dogs who had some kind of fear issue, not every one as severe as the other, but everyone was challenging because everyone was different. But I wanted to give them a chance, and I was ready to make some compromises along the way in a lot of different areas. So when you're thinking about getting a dog with baggage, it can be life-changing. I am not saying it always is, but it can be. So be sure you're ready for that in some way or every way. Like, for example, I had always a criteria that the dogs who live with me have to be able to stay home alone or be fine in the car, because that is something that I'm not willing to change in my lifestyle. I have to go to clients' houses and I have to be able to do that with the dogs living with me. Yes, I work virtually as well, but there are clients that I see on a weekly basis at their homes, and my dogs have to be fine with that. Either coming with me and waiting in the car, as long as it's not too hot, or staying home alone. So I always told myself I'm not ready for a dog with separation anxiety. And that's when I got a dog with separation anxiety. It always comes different. And we got through that. But if I was really determined to stick to that plan, I would have asked a lot more questions. And I would probably have looked at a lot more dogs than I did. But I decided it was more important for my dog to be fine with that dog, and I wanted to let him decide. And he immediately fell in love with little Kaluni, so yep. And I decided that this is more important than my structures or my rules, and that's why we were able to deal with it. But it doesn't have to look like that. You can decide on a dog where you're sure you can really handle it. And if you're not quite sure how to find that dog, book a consultation with a trainer, a behavior specialist, because we do, or a lot of us do, those consultations before adoption and go through the dogs you have been looking at together with you to find out what would be a really good fit. Sometimes it's easier to have somebody non-emotional by your side to decide together. Again, if you're thinking about getting a rescue dog, you're not quite sure if you're ready, look at dogs who fit your lifestyle and think about what you are ready to compromise, or if you're ready to compromise, and if not, pick a dog that really fits your lifestyle. There are so many out there that there is the perfect one for you. I'm sure of it. And if you run into some kind of struggle after adopting a dog, there is always the possibility to get a trainer on board and work through that struggle. If that helped you, don't forget to like and subscribe, and tell me in the comments what your first rescue dog looked like. I would love to read those. I wish you an amazing time with your rescue dog and with your decision, because it's very exciting. It's a very exciting process, and also a very exciting period of life when adopting a new dog. Until next time. Bye.